Before restarting the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Story 1. Sarah had always been an ambitious woman, driven by her desire to succeed in her career. She had dedicated countless hours to climbing the corporate ladder, leaving little room for personal relationships or romantic entanglements. But on a fateful evening, everything changed. Attending a high-profile networking event, Sarah found herself immersed in a sea of professionals, each one eager to make connections and advance their careers. As the night progressed, she couldn't help but feel a tinge of loneliness amidst the bustling crowd. And then she saw him. James, an enigmatic figure, stood out from the crowd with his magnetic presence. His confident stride, coupled with a warm smile, caught Sarah's attention. Intrigued, she approached him, drawn to his charm and charisma. They engaged in conversation effortlessly, their words flowing like a gentle dance. The more Sarah spoke with James, the more she discovered their shared interests and aspirations. It felt like a connection she had long been yearning for. As the evening wore on, Sarah found herself completely captivated by James. The allure of his company was irresistible, and when he suggested they leave the event together, her heart fluttered with anticipation. They spent the night in an intimate embrace, exploring the depths of their desires and sharing moments of vulnerability. For Sarah, it was a brief respite from her demanding career, a stolen moment of passion and connection that she knew could never last. But when morning arrived, so did a wave of guilt. Sarah's mind raced with questions and doubts. How could she have allowed herself to be swayed by her desires, knowing the consequences it could bring? As she watched James sleep peacefully beside her, she made a fateful decision. She would sever all ties with him. In the days that followed, Sarah ignored James's calls and messages, determined to bury their encounter deep within her memory. She buried herself in work, channeling her guilt and confusion into her professional pursuits. But no matter how hard she tried to push James out of her mind, his presence lingered like an unspoken secret, haunting her thoughts. Each unanswered call and message only fueled her internal conflict. Should she have given him a chance? Should she have risked opening herself up to love and vulnerability? Or was she right to prioritize her career, to protect herself from the potential heartache that could come from a fleeting encounter? The weight of her decision grew heavier with each passing day. Sarah felt the hot flush of regret as she approached her boss's office with a pivotal report clutched tightly in her trembling hands. Little did she know that her decision to cut ties with James would soon intertwine with her professional life in ways she could never have anticipated. Sarah's heart raced as she stood outside her boss's office, the weight of her important report pressing heavily upon her. She took a deep breath, attempting to steady herself before entering. The moment of truth had arrived. As she opened the door, Sarah was met with a scene that froze her in her tracks. Sitting across from her boss, Mr. Thompson, was none other than James. His presence in the office sent shockwaves through her, leaving her stunned and bewildered. "Sarah, please come in," Mr. Thompson gestured, his voice betraying no hint of the secret connection between James and Sarah. Confusion mingled with apprehension as Sarah hesitantly walked into the room, her eyes locked with James's penetrating gaze. She couldn't fathom why he would be here, seated comfortably in her boss's office. The realization dawned upon her. James had orchestrated this encounter. Mr. Thompson, a stern and discerning man, cleared his throat, breaking the silence. "Sarah, I would like you to meet James, my son. He has recently joined the company and will be working closely with us on a special project." The pieces of the puzzle began to fit together in Sarah's mind. James had pursued her at the networking event, not out of genuine attraction, but to gain access to her work, to exploit her knowledge for his own personal gain. He had used their romantic encounter as a means to an end. The room felt suffocating, the air thick with betrayal. Sarah's eyes darted between James and her boss, struggling to find the right words to express her disbelief and anger. She felt violated, deceived, and utterly taken advantage of. Summoning every ounce of courage within her, Sarah managed to speak. "Mr. Thompson, I was unaware of James's true intentions when we met. He manipulated me, used our connection to access confidential information. This is a breach of trust, not only towards me but also towards the company." Mr. Thompson's face hardened, his brows furrowing as he absorbed Sarah's words. James, on the other hand, maintained a cool and composed demeanor, as though he had expected this confrontation. "Sarah, I had my suspicions about James's methods," Mr. Thompson confessed, his voice laced with disappointment. "I appreciate your honesty and bringing this to my attention." Sarah's heart raced, a mix of anxiety and anticipation coursing through her veins. She had taken a stand, exposing James's true intentions and the unethical lengths he had gone to achieve them. The outcome of her brave decision now lay in the hands of her boss. After what seemed like an eternity, Mr. Thompson spoke again, his voice resonating with resolution. "Sarah, I assure you that your integrity and dedication to your work have not gone unnoticed. I will investigate this matter thoroughly, and appropriate action will be taken." The weight of justice hung in the air, as Sarah realized that her actions had set off a chain reaction, potentially unraveling James's web of deceit and corruption. In that moment, she felt a surge of empowerment, a renewed sense of purpose. As she left the office, Sarah knew that her life had taken an unexpected turn. No longer confined by guilt and secrecy, she had chosen to face the truth head-on. The consequences of her encounter with James were far from over, but she had reclaimed her dignity and set in motion a series of events that would redefine her place in the company and her own self-worth. Sarah's mind whirled with a mix of emotions as she walked away from her boss's office. The weight of her encounter with James still lingered, but she felt a newfound sense of strength and determination coursing through her veins. She had taken a stand, exposing the deception and unethical behavior that had entangled her. Over the following days, Sarah waited anxiously for updates on the investigation. Rumors swirled through the office, speculating about the extent of James's deceit and the consequences that would follow. Colleagues approached her, offering words of support and admiration for her bravery. Finally, the day arrived when Mr. Thompson called Sarah into his office once again. This time, his expression held a mix of gravity and appreciation. "Sarah, after a thorough investigation, we have determined that James's actions were in violation of our company's code of conduct," he explained, his voice tinged with disappointment. "He will be terminated immediately." Relief washed over Sarah, accompanied by a profound sense of justice. Her decision to expose James had not only protected her own integrity, but had also contributed to the preservation of the company's values. It was a small victory, but one that held immense significance for her. Mr. Thompson continued, his tone shifting to one of gratitude. "Sarah, your unwavering dedication and commitment to your work have not gone unnoticed. I want to offer you a promotion, along with the opportunity to work on a meaningful project that aligns with your expertise and passions." Sarah's heart swelled with a mixture of pride and disbelief. She had expected repercussions for her involvement with James, but she had never anticipated such a significant opportunity to arise from the chaos. It was a testament to her resilience and integrity. Accepting the promotion, Sarah delved into her new role with determination and fervor. The project she was assigned involved developing sustainable practices within the company, an area close to her heart. She poured her energy into the endeavor, drawing on her experiences and newfound sense of purpose. As the days turned into weeks, Sarah's efforts began to bear fruit. Her team rallied behind her, inspired by her leadership and dedication. Together, they implemented changes that not only improved the company's environmental impact, but also fostered a culture of integrity and transparency. Sarah's actions reverberated throughout the organization, leading to a broader examination of ethical practices and the implementation of stricter measures to prevent future misconduct. The company, once tainted by James's actions, embarked on a journey of redemption and transformation. In the midst of her professional success, Sarah also found personal growth. The experience had taught her valuable lessons about the importance of self-worth and the dangers of compromising her integrity for the sake of others. She vowed never to lose sight of her values again, both in her personal and professional life. As the story reached its unexpected ending, Sarah stood at a crossroads, her past and present colliding in a profound way. She had risen from the ashes of betrayal and emerged stronger, both professionally and personally. Her journey had been filled with love, loss, family dynamics, and personal struggle, but she had found resilience within herself, forever changed by the unexpected twists and turns of life. And so Sarah's story continues, a testament to the power of one's choices and the unwavering strength that lies within the human spirit. Story 2. Emily walked briskly down the dimly lit street, her heart pounding with a mix of anxiety and urgency. She glanced over her shoulder, sensing a growing unease. It was then that she realized she was being followed. As she quickened her pace, Emily's mind raced with fear and confusion. Who were these men? What did they want from her? The feeling of vulnerability washed over her, threatening to engulf her in a tidal wave of helplessness. Just as panic threatened to overtake her, a familiar figure stepped out from the shadows. It was Mark, a close friend who she had confided in about her concerns earlier. His protective instinct kicked in, determined to shield her from any harm. The three scumbags closed in, their predatory grins sending shivers down Emily's spine. One of them sneered, "We'll get it over with and get you." his voice dripping with malevolence as he smirked nastily at Mark. Without hesitation, Mark sprang into action. In a matter of seconds, his reflexes honed by a troubled past, all three attackers were knocked out cold. The unexpected turn of events left Emily in awe, her heart pounding in her chest. She stared at Mark, admiration mingled with confusion and curiosity. How did he possess such skills? Who was this man, seemingly ordinary yet capable of such extraordinary feats? Mark, catching his breath, turned to Emily with concern in his eyes. "Are you all right?" he asked, his voice laced with genuine care. Emily nodded, her voice trembling as she tried to find the right words. "Thank you, Mark. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been there." Mark offered her a reassuring smile, his eyes filled with compassion. "You don't have to thank me. I'll always be here to protect you, Emily. You're like family to me." The weight of his words hung in the air, their implications echoing through Emily's mind. There was something deeper at play, a connection that extended beyond friendship. But in the midst of the chaos, they were left with more questions than answers. As they stood there, the scene of the thwarted attack, Emily and Mark shared a newfound bond. Their lives had collided in a moment of danger, unraveling the hidden depths within them. Little did they know that this encounter would set them on a path towards unveiling long-held secrets and confronting the tumultuous family dynamics that had shaped their lives. In the wake of the shocking events, Emily and Mark's friendship evolved, fortified by a shared experience that defied expectations. Together, they would embark on a journey of self-discovery and unravel the tangled threads of their intertwined destinies, bracing themselves for the unexpected revelations that awaited them in the chapters to come. Emily sat across from Mark in a cozy coffee shop, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafting through the air. The events of the night lingered in their minds, and they were determined to delve deeper into the mysteries that had brought them together. With a mix of anticipation and trepidation, Emily leaned forward and began sharing her own struggles. She spoke of a family burdened with dark secrets, of a history shrouded in shadows. Mark listened intently, his eyes filled with empathy and understanding. As the words spilled from Emily's lips, she couldn't help but feel a sense of relief, a catharsis, and finally unburdening herself. She revealed her fears, the weight of her family's expectations, and the stifling silence that had permeated her childhood home. Moved by Emily's vulnerability, Mark reached out and gently clasped her hand, offering a silent reassurance that he would stand by her side. With a trembling voice, he began to share his own story, unveiling a past marked by violence and survival. Mark's tale revealed a world far removed from the one Emily had known. He had experienced hardships that had shaped him into the protector she had witnessed that fateful night. It was a side of him she had never suspected, a side that stirred a mix of admiration and concern within her. Together, they formed an unspoken pact to uncover the truth about Emily's family dynamics, to shine a light on the darkness that had plagued her for far too long. Their investigation took them on a journey through old family photographs, hidden letters, and conversations with distant relatives. With each piece of the puzzle they unearthed, their understanding of Emily's family deepened. They discovered a web of deceit and betrayal, secrets that had been carefully guarded for years. It became evident that Emily's family history was intertwined with a network of influential individuals, their actions affecting the lives of many. As they ventured further into the depths of the past, Emily and Mark stumbled upon unexpected connections. Mark's own troubled past became entangled with Emily's family, forging links neither of them had anticipated. The revelation left them reeling, their hearts torn between love and duty, as they grappled with the weight of their intertwined destinies. Amidst the revelations and emotional turmoil, a sense of determination took hold. Emily and Mark knew they had to confront the painful realities of her family's actions, to face the ghosts that haunted them. It was a daunting task, one that required strength, resilience, and a willingness to risk everything they held dear. In the depths of their shared journey, they discovered an unwavering bond, a love that transcended the chaos surrounding them. As they stood on the precipice of truth, their combined strength became a beacon of hope, guiding them towards an unexpected resolution. With each chapter of their lives intricately woven together, Emily and Mark prepared to confront the final act of their shared family saga, ready to unveil the hidden mastermind behind the secrets and manipulations that had haunted them for far too long. Emily and Mark stood at the precipice of the final act in their shared family saga, their hearts heavy with anticipation and trepidation. The journey they had embarked upon had been filled with twists and turns, but now they were ready to confront the truth head-on. Armed with the knowledge they had painstakingly gathered, Emily and Mark set out to expose the hidden mastermind behind the secrets that had haunted their families for years. They meticulously planned their approach, knowing that the unveiling of the truth would have far-reaching consequences. Their investigation led them to a secluded estate nestled amidst sprawling gardens and towering trees. It was here that the final pieces of the puzzle awaited, and the secrets that had held their families captive would be laid bare. As they entered the grand mansion, a sense of unease settled upon them. The air was thick with tension, the walls seemingly holding the weight of the past. They ventured deeper into the labyrinthine corridors, their footsteps echoing in the silence. Finally, they reached a study bathed in soft candlelight, the room draped in an aura of mystery. A figure sat behind a mahogany desk, their face hidden in the shadows. Emily and Mark exchanged a knowing glance, silently acknowledging the significance of this encounter. The figure slowly turned to face them, revealing a face etched with lines of deceit and manipulation. It was Emily's estranged uncle, a man she had believed to be long gone. His eyes bored into hers, a mix of malice and regret flickering within. "I see you've come seeking answers," he sneered, his voice laced with bitterness. "But do you truly believe you can handle the truth?" Emily's voice trembled as she confronted the man who had orchestrated so much pain. "You've held our families captive with your secrets for far too long. It ends here, uncle. The truth will be exposed." With a mixture of defiance and vulnerability, Emily and Mark began to unravel the tangled web of deception that had ensnared their families. Each revelation was met with a calculated counterattack, as her uncle desperately attempted to maintain his grip on power. In the midst of the confrontation, unexpected alliances were forged. Long-lost relatives and former adversaries stepped forward, their own lives forever entangled with the consequences of the secrets that had haunted Emily's family. As the pieces fell into place, a shocking truth emerged. The mastermind behind the web of deceit was not Emily's uncle alone, but a collective effort by several influential figures within their families. It was a carefully orchestrated scheme to protect their own interests, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Emboldened by their newfound support and armed with undeniable evidence, Emily and Mark faced their family's tormentors head-on. They exposed the truth, ripping away the veil of deception that had clouded their lives for far too long. The revelation sent shockwaves through their families, shattering the illusions they had clung to for years. In the aftermath, the once powerful figures who had held them captive faced the consequences of their actions, their empires crumbling beneath the weight of truth and justice. As the dust settled, Emily and Mark found solace in one another's arms. Their shared journey, fraught with love, loss, and personal struggle, had brought them to this point of redemption. They had torn down the walls of secrecy that had held their families hostage and emerged stronger, united by a love that had withstood the trials of their shared past. With the secrets laid bare and a path towards healing and forgiveness before them, Emily and Mark faced the future with renewed hope. Their family saga had come to an unexpected and triumphant ending, a testament to the power of resilience and the pursuit of truth. The two stories highlight the importance of resilience, the pursuit of truth, and the transformative power of love. In the first story, the unexpected encounter between Emily and Mark leads them on a journey of self-discovery and unraveling family secrets. It teaches us that sometimes, amidst chaos and danger, we find strength we never knew we possessed. It emphasizes the significance of trusting our instincts and the power of standing up for what is right. Ultimately, it demonstrates how love and friendship can emerge from the most unexpected circumstances. In the second story, Emily and Mark embark on a quest to uncover the truth behind their family's secrets. They demonstrate the resilience to confront their pasts, even when it becomes overwhelming and painful. The story teaches us the importance of facing the truth, even when it is difficult, as it is the key to healing and breaking free from the chains of deception. It also highlights the transformative power of love, which provides the courage and support needed to confront our deepest fears. Overall, these stories remind us that personal struggles, family dynamics, and the pursuit of truth are universal themes that shape our lives. They show that by embracing resilience, seeking truth, and nurturing genuine connections, we can overcome adversity, find redemption, and forge a brighter future.